Well, Dave, I guess my first question might be, how did you and Neil Griebling get to know one another?
Well, I met him through a networking group, and we met every Wednesday morning. And I guess we knew each other for a year, 2 years, 2 years. And through that period of time, he had talked about helping people, and we worked on a couple things together, so I had a chance to get to know him as well.
Mm-hmm. At that time, you were a principal with an area sales training firm. What kinds of jobs did you have before joining that firm?
Oh, prior to that, I ran the leasing operations for a large Caterpillar dealer. Then I worked for an investment banking turnaround company. And after that, I went out on my own as a marketing consultant, then into the sales training consulting company.
I gather these were high-level executive positions.
Well, I'll define that. I interacted with either owners of companies or owners of the company that I worked at and made significant decisions. So I would say that they were executive positions, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What was your motivation for joining the sales training firm?
That's a good question. At the time, I was a marketing rep. And the sales training company that I joined had a very, very unique process. And that intrigued me. And when I looked at it, it looked like we could do not just marketing and not just sales, but it actually could do a lot more for a company than just one area. Mm-hmm. And that broader reach would intrigue me most.
Mm-hmm. Did the firm ultimately fulfill your expectations? And why not, if they didn't?
No, ultimately it didn't. What I did is I put myself through a goal-setting process last year. The same process that I took business owners through, and found that my long-term goals weren't being met, and they would not be met at that. And it caused me a great deal of consternation because I had invested a lot of money and a lot emotionally in the company. And once I figured out, the first decision was, do I leave? Then the second decision was very clearly, I'm going to need a career coach.
And what made you turn to Neil for guidance?
Well, I had seen other clients that he worked with at the networking group. And Neil and I had talked on a number of different times. Through networking, you have to get to know one another and hopes to refer one another. And he had a type of demeanor that allowed you to be inquisitive about things. And this was a point in my career that I needed to be very inquisitive, and I thought he could guide me well in that endeavor.
Your decision to leave your company was just before the current recession hit, was it not?
Yeah, timing is everything, isn't it?
Working together with Neil, what did you manage to achieve?
Two things. The first of which, he, again, through his methods of inquiry, helped me discover very specifically what I wanted to do. Secondly, he kept me in a time frame that I pushed on him, and he helped me stay accountable to that time frame.
What value do you think Neil and his work-life discovery program model brings to his clients?
I think a lot of people, even executives, will go through their career having an idea of what they want, and things just kind of happen. I think very few people have it very, very clear what they want out of their job or out of their career. So I knew, and I told Neil right up front, I don't know how he felt about it, but I said, if you help me get it very specific in my mind what I want, it'll happen quickly. Mm-hmm. And it did.
Mm-hmm. Many high-level executives choose search firms to try and find their next positions. Why do you think men and women like yourself should choose Neil Griebling and Future Design Studio instead?
Well, my own experience with executive search firms is that they try to have one size fits all, and that's if you get a good one. I've had in the past, I've had some good ones work with, and I've had some really bad ones I've worked with. And the good ones will get you someplace. There are millions of jobs out there, and there are millions of people out there, and having a clear understanding of what you want allows you to find that job that will meet your goals on several different levels. Emotionally, financially, security, all those go into play. And I don't think executive search firms can do that.